And now, oh baby, we now have to talk about one of the, I guess, biggest elephants in the room. No pun intended for the Alabama Crimson Tide guys. We had a great college football playoff. But this college football playoff did have some controversy. We saw for the very first time a undefeated Power 5 conference champion left out of that top 4. Now, what we saw over the course of this weekend is that two things can certainly be true. Florida State got screwed. And I think there was certainly SEC bias in terms of Alabama getting that benefit of the doubt and getting that 4 spot over an undefeated conference champion. Now, that's not to say that Alabama was not capable of winning a national championship. They went wire to wire with the number 1 team in college football. And of course, Georgia, hypothetically speaking, according to our power rating model, after what happened in the bowl season games, Georgia would be favored over any team in the nation right now. That's Alabama included. But games aren't decided metaphorically. They're decided on football fields once and for all. And what Florida State did have a chance to do, even though they really did get screwed over. I think we can agree that they got screwed. They also could have proved those naysayers wrong. I mean, if Florida State would have won this Orange Bowl, they could have at least claimed a national championship, and I wouldn't blame them. This is much different from a 2017 UCF situation. This is a Florida State team that played a Power 5 schedule, and it still was not enough. It didn't matter. But then the Orange Bowl happened. And Florida State lost 63-3. And the only thing that I have is Florida State, really, guys? You let this happen to you? What are we doing? And listen, Florida State was missing the majority of its production. I hear you. But at the same time, Georgia was not at full strength either. They had 15 players opt out through going into the transfer portal or opting out in preparation for the NFL draft. So while Georgia was not missing nearly the same amount of production, or they were not at full strength, they were not at full strength. Georgia was not at full strength. Florida State, however, also was not at full strength. But even with the team that they put on the field in the Orange Bowl, you would think that Florida State's team of backups and third string guys would be at least bare minimum comparable to teams like Ball State, UT Martin, UAB. Now, you're thinking to yourself, well, those are 3 random teams. Why are you mentioning those teams? Those are the teams that Georgia played in a non-conference game matchups outside of SEC play. And all those 3 teams did not get blown out as much as Florida State did in this national championship. So, honestly, Florida State, I get it. You got screwed, but you also got to come out and show a little bit more pride than that. If you lost this game, that's fine. It's understandable if you don't win with a freshman third string quarterback. That's not a blue chip guy, by the way. But even though Georgia was not at full strength, Georgia did whatever it wanted. They averaged 9 yards a play in this game. They pulled their starting quarterback, Carson Beck, after halftime. And even then, they still put up even more points in the second half. They put up 14 points on 2 third quarter drives after that. And Florida State was never threatened. They weren't shut out. They were not shut out at all. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. It sucks if you're Florida State, but hopefully this Orange Bowl disappointment is not going to be something that is going to hold the program back long term. And I don't think it won't, but I did want to talk about this Orange Bowl because there was so much controversy about the Florida State decision. Few more things I want to talk about from this Orange Bowl, some key stats that happen, and then we'll dive into the actual national championship game. Carson Beck was fantastic, 13 and 18, 203, 2 scores. He did that all in the first half. Brock Glenn, on the other hand, 9 for 26, did throw for more yards than Jalen Milroe. So do what you want with that information. Did throw multiple interceptions, though. Georgia also dominated the time possession. Georgia held the ball for about almost 36 minutes, while Florida State only had 24 minutes. And then here's a big discrepancy. Georgia ran the ball for 372 yards. There are some teams out there that cannot get 372 yards in a total game, passing or running. Georgia did all of that on the ground. Florida State only had 63 yards rushing. They could not establish the run in this game either. You know why? Because they're not afraid of Brock Glenn. He was what he showed in the ACC championship and what he showed in this Orange Bowl is he is not ready to start at a Power 5 level yet. Not saying that Brock Glenn can never get there, but he's not ready just quite yet. He's not completely there. But yeah, that was a thing that happened. If you turn this off like at halftime, I don't blame you. Congratulations to Georgia, by the way, for showing up more prepared. Because Georgia's, even without winning national championship, Georgia's still on an excellent run. They've won 41 games in the last 3 years. They came in with the right mindset, and you saw from that final score, they are absolutely relentless in its execution. They will play from the opening whistle until the clock hits triple zeros. So congratulations to Georgia on winning the Orange Bowl. Florida State, hopefully you show a little bit better. And you did get DJU in the transfer portal. Hopefully you just give a little bit better injury luck here moving forward, so that you're not in a position to have these kind of controversies happen later on down the line.